Hi everybody, it is Anna and welcome back to my booktube channel, or if you are new, welcome. It is really nice to have you here on my cozy bookish corner of the internet. So today's video is going to be, I guess it's a book haul is what it is. I got some money this Christmas as a gift from people, and so I decided to take it to Elliott Bay Book Company, which is my favorite indie bookshop here in Seattle, and I decided to purchase some books with the money that I got as a gift. So thank you to the gift giver. I don't know if you're watching this, but I have thanked you already in person. You know who you are. I appreciate it. And I kind of went nuts, you know? So the first book that I picked up is A Guest in the House by Emily Carroll, which is a very spooky looking graphic novel about this woman who is, I believe, newly married, but she doesn't really seem to be that into her marriage at all, and I believe it's very heavily implied that she is gay, and that's why she's not into her marriage to a man. She moves into this house but learns that there is another presence that has already been there, so it's got kind of a cool haunted house aspect to it. It just looks really creepy and kind of disturbing, and I know it is going to be a lot of fun to read. I mean, look at this. Look at just how creepy and nightmarish that art style is. I don't know what it is about horror comics that I'm so drawn to, but I really am. Just keep those coming. That's gonna be fun. Okay, next up is this book called Inversion by Eric McBay. This was not originally on my radar. I actually picked this up because it was on a new in science fiction and fantasy shelf, and I saw it was distributed by AK Press, which is kind of a radical anarchist futurist, really awesome publishing company. I enjoy them a lot, and this is part of their Black Dawn series, which I believe is particularly dedicated to works of scientific, it's written on in here. Let's see if I got it right. I'm saying it's dedicated to works of speculative sci-fi fantasy type things in the tradition of writers like Octavia E. Butler, and yeah, so let's see. Yep, honor anarchist traditions, follow the great Octavia E. Butler's legacy, seeks to explore themes that do not reinforce dependence on oppressive forces, the state, police, capitalism, elected officials, and will generally express the values of anti-racism, feminism, anti-colonialism, and anti-capitalism. Stories published here center queerness, blackness, anti-fascism, and celebrate voices previously disenfranchised, all who are essential in establishing a society in which no one is oppressed or exploited. So this looks really interesting. It is about a girl named Char. She is part of a nomadic group that travels around their planet and tends to the world, like the nature around them in this reciprocal relationship. And then there is, let's see. Yes, she is the first person who spots these vessels that come bearing invaders who do not want to live with the land the same way that they do. And then there is this other person, Graft, who is a survivor of a culture who was annihilated by those same invaders and is now a captive among them and an attendant. So it is about the two of them, and it seems like there might be really cool like non-human entities in this. It just seemed really interesting. I actually did wind up going on AK Press when they had their 50% off sale and getting a lot more of these Black Dawn stories because they all just sounded so intriguing. But this was the first. Okay, next up is a book that I didn't like. I knew it existed, but I didn't go in intending to purchase it. And then I saw it and I remembered, oh yeah, I really want to read this. And that is Night Bitch by Rachel Yoder. This is a book that I have heard Jen Campbell speak about, and I think it's just been percolating in the back of my mind since then. This sounds really interesting. I mean, there's a hunk of raw meat on the cover. This is about a woman who puts her career on hold because she has a newborn. She decides to stay home from him. And then she maybe starts turning into like a wolf, a dog, an animal, something like that. So she then finds this like mommy group, I guess, that is supposed to help her out with things like this. It seems like a fun combination of fairy tales and motherhood and just scary stuff. And I'm looking forward to reading it. we got some more scary stuff. This is a book that I had also randomly found on a shelf while I was browsing and bookmarked it for later, and that's Trouble with Lichen by John Wyndham. This is a sort of classic sci-fi story about humanity discovering the secret to life extension through this lichen, and it is about these two scientists that are investigating it. One of them really wants to keep it a secret, and then the other one wants to use it as a way to basically like bring about different gender norms and more gender equality than they currently have. However, the person who's trying to keep it secret is doing that because they don't want the wealthy people in the society to just get a hold of this life extension technology and hoard it for themselves. So that's going to be a really like interesting opposition set up already. I like it when sci-fi actually interrogates with those interesting questions that don't have easy answers, instead of just having the obviously good kind of revolutionary figures and the obviously bad, sometimes cartoonishly evil, like I'm thinking like President Snow from the Hunger Games, which is not fair to the Hunger Games. They're written well, but you know, when people tried to copy it and they didn't do it very well, and there was not a ton of like interesting moral complexity or space for critical thought and chewing on these big ideas. That was a really wordy way of saying, I'm glad this is going to be a complex story, and also what's not to love about a lichen. It's a friendship between a fungus and a plant. Okay, two more here. One of them just recently won an award. I don't remember what award it was. And of course, it's not actually on the book itself, but this was quite literally like the most impulsive book from this bookstore trip. Oh, that's what it was. It was a finalist for the Nebula and the Los Angeles Times Ray Bradbury Prize, and that is The Mountain in the Sea by Ray Naylor. This is about a tech corporation that has discovered a new species of octopus that has maybe developed its own language and culture. It is about a marine biologist who has spent her life researching these cephalopods. She's traveling to investigate this with the, this is the world's first and possibly last android. And then it also says that the octopuses hold the key to unprecedented breakthroughs in extra-human intelligence. I feel like this is something that is really kind of having a moment in literature right now. I remember when the documentary My Octopus Teacher came out, and suddenly a lot more people were exposed to the idea that like octopuses have intelligence that, you know, we usually think of in the purview of humans or dolphins or, you know, like other really intelligent mammals, but there are cephalopods that are up there as well. And I think a lot of people use them as this interesting vehicle for thinking about extra-human intelligence. I just want this to be weird. I want this to be fun. I want this to be bizarre. I want it to get under my skin. Also, look at the kind of Cthulhu looking guy that is an octopus that looks just like a mountain in the sea, if you will. That was quite unexpected. And then this is the book that I knew I wanted to pick up because I have just started getting into her writing, and that is Bunny by Mona Awad. I looked out into getting an autographed copy that was just sitting on the shelf. So thank you, Mona Awad. I don't know what it was exactly that made me want to start reading her books right now, but I had first heard about Mona Awad's books last year when I attended Emerald City Comic Con, and I was hanging out in the, what is it, like Penguin? Yeah, it was the PRH booth, and, you know, just talking with the booksellers there and exchanging information, and I heard about her, and I was like, oh, this looks really interesting. It was kind of giving me some secret history read-alikes, but I didn't pick it up at the time. I was just like, okay, I already have like too many other things going right now. I'm not going to read this. Then I picked up her book, All's Well, which is a Shakespearean type story earlier this year, and was completely blown away by it. I gave it 5 stars. Like, what a way to start 2024, a 5-star book. And I was no sooner, you know, reading All's Well, I hadn't even finished it when I went, this is an author I need to read everything that they've written. I need to go find the entire backlist, go through all of it, have a wonderful time with it. And so I picked up Bunny because I knew that that was the big one that everybody talks about. And then she has another book called 13 Ways of Looking at a Fat Girl. which I think is a riff on 13 Ways of Looking at a Blackbird, so that should be interesting too. And then I think there's one more. I don't know if it's one she's working on currently or what exactly. I don't know, but I'm really happy to have Bunny here. So yes, happy Christmas to me. I'm really excited to read all of these. I did receive some books as well as gifts from friends and family, so you will be hearing about those interspersed with my other reads. Let me just carefully put all of these back in their little bag. So wonderful. So I think without any further ado, I'm going to turn this off and go get some reading done. So before I go, if you like this video, and you're thinking to yourself, hey, I actually like listening to this person talk in my ears about books, go ahead and give my channel a subscribe. I've been hovering right at about 555 subscribers recently, which I think is hilarious because it reminds me of every obvious fake phone number from a TV show ever. It's quite funny. And really, this is the only place where I'm posting that I have new videos out. I'm not really using other social medias for it at this time. I have no plans to do so. So if you want to be updated, subscribe here and hit the little bell button and, you know, do whatever we have to do to appease the YouTube algorithm. And also, thank you so much for watching and for being here. It means a lot. I really appreciate it. I love getting to chat with you guys in the comments about the different things that we're thinking about and reading. So please, if you received any books as gifts this holiday season, or you went book shopping for yourself, or you did the thing that I frequently do where you go book shopping to get a gift book for someone and then you also buy a book for yourself, or you buy the gift book and then you read it first before you give it away, let me know, because these are all good stories and fun things to share. So as I said, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.